to bring that to us to help you. So bring it to Monday training so that we can help you with a particular issue you're having, not a technical issue that goes to our bug report within the Genius, but something that we can help you. I don't know why my computer is running really, really slow today. So, all right, we're going to be, got that. Okay. Tell you this new background is from Mac's generic new background of one of their systems. I'm not fond of it. I'm going to be changing that. All right, let's get started. And thank you so much for joining. Please put your questions into the chat. This is your opportunity to ask questions. What would you like to know about the Genius? Now, we're not just going to cover that today. We have much more to cover for you. Let's go ahead and we'll have this ready and waiting. Okay, we're going to cover the immune system. We're going to talk about a process. We're mostly going to be covering a process, okay? I'm going to be showing you how to put this together. I'm going to be mentioning some basics about the immune system for you. And then we have some other things to talk about here. So I will take your questions. So please be sure to get your questions in the chat at geniusbiofeedback.com. You can check out all the things that we have going on. We're going to show you. All right, let me get to our website here. We have some new banners on our website. All right, so this is geniusbiofeedback.com. This is our main website. Let me show you a few things to know about the website. When you want to share the Genius with someone, the very best thing to do is to send them to the Start Here menu. We created the Start Here menu as a way for them to get to know what we do. So please be sure to share this link with people that you'd like to refer to the Genius. We do ask each and every person, how did you learn about the Genius? Also, if you've never noticed that we do have something called our Start Here menu, like it's really meant for people who don't know what the Genius is so that they can come in here and we can tell them everything about the Genius. So if they just go to the Genius Basics, it says things like, what is the Genius? Who can use the Genius? All right, there we go. So how do I learn how to use the Genius? How does it work? How do I purchase it? All things like that. We're really just trying to get more resources to tell people what the basics are of the Genius. Okay, so we try to make this as user-friendly as possible with our Start Here. So it's a great page to share with other people. We also have our Learn menu on here. In the Learn menu, you can go to our blog. Our blog is a great way for you to catch up with things that are going on because we always list the most recent recording. So if you go here, you can actually see everything that we're doing today. All right, so you've got basically the immune boost process that we're going to do today. So a lot of people are going to ask, where is this? How do I get it? And you get it by going to the Learn menu and then going to our blog. We can link it here, but again, people are going to keep asking for it to be linked. You can just go, that's why we put it on the blog so people could go back to it and get this process. All right, we also have all the libraries that are available in our immune system. Okay, so you can check out all the libraries that are available on the website that are related to the immune system. All right, so that's here. Then we also have this great screen recording. So you'll definitely want to check this out. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. But we have this really great, if only it would cooperate. Okay. So we have a really nice screen recording, which is all about how to utilize the custom playlist. So we're going to be talking about the custom playlist. And so you can watch this particular screen recording, which will help you to learn how to create a custom playlist. We're going to go through this again today, but I would recommend that you bookmark this so that then you can go through it in real slow pace and learn all about how to create a custom playlist. You might find this to be an easy process. If you do, then you probably don't need this particular video, but you may want to check it out for some of the details. All right, so that is on the Learn menu right here at geniusbiofeedback.com. All right, so that is our website. Our website is geniusbiofeedback.com. Now, every week we actually send out a newsletter. So if you think you're not on our newsletter list, then send me a message, Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com. We've actually gotten more consistent, a lot more consistent at sending out that newsletter. So be sure that you're getting it, because we did send out some important resources that I'm going to review in just a moment that you'll probably want to take advantage of. So we're going to look at that newsletter. We're also going to take your questions. So be sure to send me a message, Ariel at geniusbiofeedback.com, or if you have a question for today, be sure to put it into the chat so that we can cover it together, and we'll go over your questions. We're going to go over the immune boost process in just a moment, so I'm going to be talking about that. I also just wanted to point out some of the resources that we just featured in our latest newsletter. What we're really trying to do here, my goal is to make the Genius as easy to understand, and also just give you resources that you can utilize that will make your life easier. We probably should post these to the blog. Like not cooperating technically. All right, I'm just trying to get to the most recent broadcast that we just sent out. And what we did here, let's just go to the content so I can get in here. All right, so first of all, we have a new page for the research project. Okay, so we recently did a research project with over 100 participants. Recently, we summarized the research project on this page. That way you could take this page and share it with other people. So you can go to this research project page and you can share this page with other people. So please bookmark this page, review it, and it talks all about what it was, what we did, and what people experienced. And we're going to continue to develop this. This is at least we start to see what people can really see, the percentage of progress that people made. So be sure to, review the page. The pain symptoms that were reported dropped by 37%, by the end of week 4. These are the things you want to be able to tell people when you're talking about the Genius, and they're so, well, what kind of results do you get? You want to be able to refer to this. We always make the disclaimer that this was not a double-blind research study like the pharmaceutical companies use. We just asked people what their experience was, and they wrote down their experience in a questionnaire. We have listed the questionnaire that they used right here, and we also reviewed the process that they used right here. So, check out this page. It's really helpful for understanding, and send this page to other people when you're getting them excited about the Genius and they're like, well, I don't know, what does it do? Can you explain it? Has anybody ever talked about, what the results are? Yeah, now we have the results, okay? And we'll be posting some more testimonials and some more information on this page. So then we also have it available as a downloadable PDF. So what you can do is you can take this if you wanted to. We'll get some brochures printed out, but we just thought if you want to print them out, if you want to put your own practice name on here somewhere, put on your own, staple your business card to this. So we have this downloadable summary of what we did for the research project. If you'd like us to print these out and make them available to you in a printed format for a minimal fee for printing, let me know. If it's something you'd like us to actually print and offer on the website at a minimal cost, or you also have it available where you could just staple your business card to it. So that's another resource we've been working on. And we also have a website template. So, shoot. Okay, you have to actually sign up for it. I don't have time to sign up for it. Let's just go ahead and see if we can go right to it. We have a website template for you. This one is completely free. It's not the replicated website. It's a template that we did. We created a template for you in something called Canva. If you're familiar with that, let me just see if I can get a preview of it. Okay, so we created these pages in Canva for you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to move it over here. Technology's not cooperating with me today. So what we did is we created these pages that you could then just publish to a website and you could edit them yourself. It's a completely free template that people charge for developing certain templates in Canva. And we just created one for you where you could see this. I think we can, what if we publish it? Oh, you have to, yeah. So you can just put in a website URL. I'm trying to get the preview for it. Okay, so it looks something like this. What we did is we came up with some ideas of what you could utilize, and also you can put your affiliate link on here. So this is all available in the newsletter, and we've just trying to create more resources for you that you can utilize in your practice, and also to help you in your own personal practice. And another thing that we're doing, this is also, you could see in the most recent newsletter, is we created a video. This is another thing that we created in Canva. This is something you could just take this link and you could use it in your practice. Let's try to just move this over here. And what we did is we put music behind it. I don't know if we can get the music to play here. Okay, so this is a video, right, that you could show. And I'll take any feedback so we want to make some more videos, but you've probably seen these videos online where you can watch animations. So the idea of this particular video, which we also created in Canva, and anybody could do this, is we used some backgrounds and then we plugged in some affirmations. And this is something that anybody could watch during their Genius session while they're listening to the frequencies. They can watch this and they can watch the affirmations. You could do one without affirmations. And so they have something visually that they can plug into while they're listening to the frequencies. They could do this at home. They could do it during a Zoom session. Again, we're trying to create lots of different resources for you in your practice. And this is one of the ones that we came up with. Now, a place where you can get even more resources, which is where we originated a lot of this, is within our business membership. So if you go to the membership list on the website, you can see that a lot of this was developed, and we have many more resources available for people in the business membership. This is some of the resources that we've been developing. We're just giving you sort of a sample of it for the greater community. So you can read more about all of our memberships and see if any of them are right for you. You can cancel any of the memberships at any time. They're just meant to give you more focus in the areas that you're working in. And we're going to talk about one of the other memberships in just a moment. All right, so that's the website, some resource tools for you. We're going to talk about the immune process in terms of what we want to do. I think the custom playlist is a really great resource within the Genius, because you could do a process like the immune boost process, plug it into a custom playlist, and then you never have to think about it again. You can always just select that immune boost process, and then you still can get to progressive insights where you can sort out some of the things that would be higher or lower. So I just want to talk about our Case Solvers Club. We also call it the Process Club. We get a lot of people who will send me information that says, this is my client's condition. This is what's going on with them. Now tell me what to do. Okay, so that's a lot of work to then review all the client's symptoms, tell me what I'm supposed to do. So what I did is I created a new club called Case Solvers Club, or we also call it Process Club. Then you can send in your case and I will give you information, health information about why that particular condition exists, and exactly what you could do step by step in terms of frequencies that you could send to them in order to help them with this particular issue or condition. We then share all of those processes. We don't really call them protocols, but you get the idea, step-by-step processes with everybody in the club. And then we have a meeting once a month where I go over some of those processes and you learn about health, wellness, holistic health, and really the strategies for solving the particular issue. We have combination memberships where you can join 2 memberships at a discount or 3 memberships at an even greater discount. We need some forums to be able to have the time and the structure in able to do this. So far, we've been able to send processes to people who were having like real chronic fatigue, very challenging issues with their family, having chronic conditions that they didn't know anything about. I was able to give them a process. They're doing the step-by-step process and they're getting good results. So it seems to be working out, and you can read about it and find out more about it on our website under the Discount Club and Other Clubs tab. Okay, let's talk about the immune boost process and putting it into a custom playlist. So when you run frequencies, your whole body is a series of frequencies. Everything around you is a frequency. You're constantly having to navigate in a world of frequency. The sound of your voice is a frequency. All the words that you speak are frequencies. The letters have frequencies, the sounds, the words, and the words together have frequencies. So you want to really be mindful of the words that you speak, even starting to select the thoughts that you're thinking. So you want to be very, very mindful of those things. Understanding that, you can understand that when you run a genius frequency, that is a frequency that could change something about you or change the other person, another person that you're running the frequencies for. So that's the idea behind the genius. We run frequencies, people entrain the frequencies. They become one with whatever frequencies are around them. You've probably heard the story that 440 hertz was chosen some 75, 80 years ago in order to change the world. When the harmonics of music changed, it changed from 432 hertz, which was really about going within and knowing the truth about yourself, to 440 hertz. Change all of the world's music to that harmonic, and you change the world. How are they being changed? They're being changed by a frequency, by a scale that says, look outward for all the solutions. How could your body constantly heal you, possibly heal you? It must be a medicine, must be a surgery, must be a patented, whatever it is. It'll look outward for the solutions. So frequency is constantly shifting and changing us. We use the genius frequencies in order to elicit a change. So we're going to choose certain frequencies today that are related to the immune system. We're going to utilize them when we want to be preventive, right? We want to get out in front of something during this cold and flu season. Maybe we want to run the immune boost frequencies before something happens. Maybe when we have the first sniffle or something, we want to run these frequencies. We have them in a custom playlist. They're at the ready. We can use them at any time. Even when somebody starts to get something that is going on with them, cold or flu, then we can use these frequencies. Now, along with that, we've always taught that along with frequencies, we want to endeavor to help people with their health from a holistic perspective. And to do that, the very best thing is to study how the body works. So when we study how the body works, then we can really be very skillful in understanding how to prevent certain things. Now, Kathy's asking, how do we create a playlist? Kathy, if you look back in the chat, I don't know if you just joined us, we have a whole screen recording about creating custom playlists. And as I mentioned, we will be looking together at creating this custom playlist today. So you, my friend, are absolutely in the right place at the right time. Okay, now lifestyle-wise, always wear, in the cooler weather, always wear a hat or a scarf at the beginning of the cooler season. This is something that is from Chinese medicine that says that at the top of the head and the back of the neck, you are susceptible to something called wind invasion. And these are the pernicious energies that Chinese medicine talks about. When these places are open and unprotected, then these pernicious energies can enter into the body. I think about it as energetically, it's sort of a weak point. It's sort of like your Achilles heel of points in the body. And especially when you have these open points and they're exposed to cold or damp weather, then you're more likely to get sick. So hat on the top of the head. We know we also lose a lot of heat on the head, right? And scarf because of a point at the back of your neck that is very susceptible to this wind invasion. So that's just one thing to help you. We always want to work in conjunction with frequency and lifestyle. What can we do? Okay, be careful when consuming very heavy meals. Why do people get sick around the holidays? Lots of reasons, stress, right? Poor weather, but also when you're eating a very heavy meal, all the blood rushes to your digestive system. It takes a lot of energy for digestion, takes a lot of blood flow. When you step outside, your body says, "Woo, it's cold." So it tries to basically protect you by shunting the blood to other places, like to the extremities, to keep you warm. And so it's going to be fighting with the blood flow to your digestion. So when you do that, you really stress out the body, and so you can be susceptible to getting sick. Also consuming, during the holidays, you're going to get lots of sweet desserts and things you have to go over to your relatives. They're going to say, "Oh my gosh, you got to eat this," right? Maybe you're making it for family. So when you consume refined sugar specifically, not fruits, not vegetables, not whole foods, not potatoes, but refined sugar. We've all indulged at some time, but know that when you do, it can suppress white blood cell production for up to 6 hours. So refined sugar can suppress white blood cell production for up to 6 hours. So if you happen to have that sweet and then you get exposed to a germ, a virus, your body may not be as good at basically doing a cleanup process and sort of preventing or stopping that particular bacteria or virus from proliferating, okay? Also, why is this repeated? Oh my gosh. Interesting. I don't know how that got duplicated. Okay. So anyway, then also very, very important. I wish everybody in the world knew that is much more about the terrain than it is about the germ. Now, all of you are so smart. You probably already know that Louis Pasteur at the end of his life said, "Oh my gosh, I wrote all about these germs and the bacteria and the contagion and everything." But guess what? It's really much more about the terrain, which means your being, your body, and how it interacts with the world. So as you eat good foods, you don't have a lot of sugar, you don't have a lot of alcohol, you eat a very clean diet, you take care of yourself, you go to sleep, you get good rest, you have good gut microbiome, which you can get from eating lots of fruits and vegetables, then your body is really not susceptible. So you might walk into a room with 6 people who all have an active issue, an active pathogen affecting them, and you walk right past everybody, nothing happens. You all know that one person in the office, they never get sick, right? Just that one person. It's their terrain. It's the strength of their immune system. And there are things that you can do, right, in addition to the lifestyle, actually herbs and different supplements, things that you can take that can also help to build your immune system. So you're going to build up your immune system in advance. But things like being active, not being sedentary, getting outside, always getting outside, even in the worst weather, just for a few minutes a day, can really help your immune system because of all that oxygen, the fresh air, and just the resonance, right? Just the frequencies of being outside are very helpful for the whole body. So now, I don't know why this is doing this. This is something from a previous thing that I created. But anyway, let me just see if I can change this. What we want to do is create a custom playlist, and what I want to do is mention the things that are within the genius. So let me just play this from the current slide. There we go. It's a lot better. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take frequencies that are related to the immune system, and we're going to create a custom playlist to put those frequencies into the genius. Now, an incredible update that I think the developer did, which is really good, is he is now allowing you to use any custom library. So any of the additional libraries can now be utilized to create a custom playlist. So we're going to look at this in real time in just a moment. I'm going to bring the genius in to this, and we're going to create this playlist together. So I have it at the ready, sort of on my, as you can see, on my desktop to bring in just a moment. All of these menus and views. Okay, let me just go ahead and move this over here. And what we're going to do, we're going to go to today's stress. We're going to take a liver, lymphatic, immune, kidneys. From glands, we're going to take thymus, adrenal, and thyroid. These are kind of obvious why you would want them to boost the immune system. From minerals, we're going to use zinc and selenium. So selenium is very important in the immune process. Zinc has been shown even to stop the virus from replicating. So zinc is incredibly helpful and beneficial in whether you want to take it before you get sick, or even if you feel something coming on, to get in those zinc lozenges to get zinc into your body. We know vitamin A is a great booster of the immune system. Vitamin C, classic booster of the immune system. Vitamin D, right? The sunshine vitamin, get in there. And I do think there's a great value to using frequency as opposed to actual supplements. We'll have to get into another class that I will do at some time, talk all about the dangers of supplements, how you can cause imbalances in your body. And there's also all types of binders and titanium dioxide and weird fillers that go into the capsule of vitamins that we take. So we have to be careful. We also have an herbs panel, and this is from the system overview: holy basil, amla, foti, ashwagandha, licorice root. We'll look at all of these. It's also on the document that you can get off of the blog. So if you go to the blog at geniusbiofeedback.com, you can get this where it lists all of these items, and we'll go over it together. You can also use the essential oils of oregano, geranium, frankincense, myrrh, eucalyptus. Many of you are involved with Young Living or other essential oils. You know all the essential oils that are great for the immune system. It doesn't have to just be these. You can add the ones that you know about and put additional ones in. Then we have the solfeggio tones, which are going to add in 639 hertz, which increase cell-to-cell communication, great for the immune system. 528 hertz, you all know about transformation of the DNA, and 285 hertz, that is great for restoring organ and tissue to its original home frequency. If your whole body has some type of disease, but you change the frequency, well, the disease has a frequency. If the frequency you're listening to, you align yourself with that frequency, then perhaps the diseased frequency will fall away. That's the idea here. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and remove this. Remember, you can, let's just do this one more time, that you can download it from our website. So if you go to geniusbiofeedback.com, we put that in there. We go here, we go to the Learn menu, and we go right here to our blog. We can easily go on to today. Today's November 6th. Okay. We're going to go to the cold and flu season one. We're going to find out, oh my gosh, what are the downloads here? We can go right here, and then we just choose download, and we download this immune process, which tells you basically how to create this particular playlist. Save it on your computer. There you go. Now you have the process as well. It has to bring up everything I've ever done, every document for some reason. Love that. Okay, so now you can see what we created, and you can have it for your own purposes, however you want to use it. And now we're going to go to the Genius. Now we're going to go to the Genius, and we're going to look at the Genius about how to do this. All right. I'm laughing because just the Zoom is not cooperating with me today. So, okay, so we're going to go to our Genius. So if you want to get your Genius, if you want to, skip the voice in the picture and be logged in and look at this together, let's look at how we create a custom playlist. Now on the blog, you can also see a video screen recording where we go to create that custom playlist. You can see a screen recording we did, so that after today, you can go and watch that screen recording, and it'll do what I'm doing in more detail, and you can slow it down, speed it up, whatever you want to do. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now we're going to go into the Genius. Now you can see, for example, if I go to the plus sign down here, let's go ahead and see if I can get a spotlight, which is now in a new shape, which is hard to see right here. So if we go here and we hit the plus sign, you can see if we scroll down, oh, okay, I think I didn't download my custom playlist, so you can't see it here. Okay, well, we'll have one in just a moment. It's always something. So let's go ahead now. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the menu. So to do that, let's just do it one more time. We go to the navigation bar, which is these three bars right here. We're going to click on the three bars. We're going to be able to see all these different things, what version, fun. but what we're looking for is the custom playlist. So I'm going to click here. There's no custom playlist because I didn't get a chance to download the rest of the database. That's okay. Let's just go ahead and add one. I'm going to go to add and I'm going to name it. What am I going to name it? How about Immune Boost? Immune Boost. And then we're going to go ahead and save it. And it says I need to add some items first. So then I have to remember to go back and make sure you save it. So now it says you can choose from the body, the biofield, the mind, or the library. So first let's go to the body. And these would be all the libraries that you've ever had, either ones that you've created, ones that you've gotten from me, whatever they are, they're all now available. And that was a huge thing that the developer did not think he was going to be able to do. So I just have to give him a lot of kudos for figuring that out. Okay, so now we're going to go by different system here. So we've laid it out by system. Today's stress. Let's find today's stress. Boom, ba-doom. Go to today's stress. I guess we have to select it and then open it. There we go. Oh, now it's selected everything. Like I said, it's always something. Okay, let's see if I can. So now we're going to say, what do we want to select? We want to, it's not letting me scroll. Okay, I'm just going to do a sample of how this would be. My desktop version of the Genius is not as ideal. There's going to be some things I'm going to have to report to the developer that he needs to fix because I'm not able. This might be because I have maybe the spotlight. Let's go ahead and get rid of that for a second. Let's try it one more time. Can I scroll down here? Oh, it did. It was the spotlight that was doing it. Okay. All right. So now it says the liver, the lymphatic. We're going to do the kidneys anyway. It's a little hard to see across here. The immune system. Now, there are other things that you could actually include. This is sort of an immune boost. It was meant to be kind of preventive, but you could also include pathogens. You could also include bacteria. You could also include acid. What this implies is it's helping to change the acidic state by running that frequency. So let's save, we can save those. So now those are saved in our playlist, but we want to add some more items. I think it is wise to save as you go along. So now it's going to be, let's see, it should be added. Go back in here. Yeah, I think it's wise to save it as you go along. I know it's going to take a little bit more time, but I think you're going to be happier that you don't lose the whole enchilada as you're going along. Okay, so gland. So let's look at the gland, see if we could drop it down here. I guess it was the other function of the spotlight that was affecting this. So now we're going to go thymus. So your thymus is an amazing gland, right, sort of at the lower, if you go down here, sort of that upper part of your chest, above the sternum. Your thymus gland, important part of your immune system, tends to atrophy over time. You kind of wake it up by tapping it. You can run frequencies for it. The idea is to boost your immune system. And then we've got the adrenals. The adrenals are an important part of your total immune functioning. Well, if you're too stressed out, it's going to suppress your immune system. And your thyroid gland actually contributes to the health of your immune system. We could do other things if we wanted to. We're just going to keep it to those for now. And we're going to save it. And then we're going to go back and we're going to add some more. I probably won't do the whole thing, right? But you get the idea. So let's do a few more. Go back to the body down here. We'll see if we can do them without saving. Let's go ahead. Immune system. We said zinc and selenium. Yeah, I'm having trouble just trying to get it to navigate down to those lower items. Okay, so I see what it is. I have to hold my mouse down and then scroll. Good to know. Okay, so selenium, I'd say that one of the challenges I think is with these dots, I think we need a little bit of a line. This would be something you could send to the developer. Sort of need a leading line so you can see how these line up. It's not that easy. And then I think that's there. So then you can actually leave this here, I think, and then you can, let's save it. Yeah, it did save it. So you could actually just do it all at once. Okay, now let's look at the library. So the library will actually populate this is unbelievable, every library that you have. So for example, we have one, now this is going to need an alpha scroll eventually where you can go to the letter that you want. This is another suggestion that you could make to the developer. Okay, so we have healing hidden infections. Okay, so you could add ones for like immune system solutions, and you could just add all of them if you wanted to. So this one dot will add all of them. Let's go ahead and save those, and then let's that be it for now. Did it add it? It added this item and it added all the sub items. Okay, all right. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's see how to utilize this. So now, see if it added it. There we go. So now it's added under our custom playlist under Immune Boost. So let's see what happens when we add it to the tray. So now we've added to the tray, and now for some reason it only says we've added 12 items. So, oh, I know why. So this is good that we can talk about this. Why did it only add 12 items? This is why you may run into this. It will not populate the items from your custom libraries unless you do an analysis. And this is a little bit of a quirk. I'm glad we're getting a chance to talk about it. So if you add libraries from the custom library section, you'll need to run an analysis first before it will actually populate these into your custom playlist. Now let's go back and look at it. And as we go back here, we're going to go once again to Immune Boost. And at this time now it added, and you can see there's additional items. So there were only 12. Now there's many more. So these are all the items that are in our custom playlist. And now what we can do, see, they're in the main hold tray. And one thing you have to think of is, well, now I'm able to instantly, sort of magically create the frequencies or put together the frequencies that I want. But what if I still want the biofeedback aspect? Because I haven't really asked the higher consciousness, what do you want related to your immune system? And that's the problem with a custom playlist, right? You're sort of saying like, I know you're going to need these frequencies, which is legitimate. All of these frequencies, would benefit anybody's immune system. But we can make it a little bit more nuanced. Once we have all these frequencies in the tray, we could actually proceed to progressive insights, and we could still have the benefit of doing biofeedback by finding out which ones are high, which ones are medium, and which ones are low. So now we could say maybe we only want to run these high items. And even if we want to run all of them just for our own purposes, now we know, well, vitamin A rated really, really high. Maybe the person's really deficient in vitamin A, or, garlic really resonates with them. So we can take a lot of information from the high items that come up for that person. So it says things like, serapeptase, which helps to clean up any metabolic waste, berberine, which is wonderful for the immune system. It comes in things like golden seal and Oregon grapefruit. They have berberine in them and very good for liver health. Ashwagandha, excellent for the immune system, really good for any autoimmune conditions. Ashwagandha is great, for an immune boost, but also for the adrenals. Selenium, excellent for the thyroid, also great for the immune system. But you kind of know, okay, so selenium is actually ranking a little bit higher than the zinc, although it's pretty close. Okay, so that would be a way that you can combine the convenience of having the playlist along with getting some of the biofeedback aspect, because the voice scan is really important. It's one of the most powerful voice analysis systems or engines I think that you'll find. And it's like, if you want to know what the developer really obsesses about, it's the efficacy of that voice engine. And that is the reason why when you test somebody as a practitioner, or it's your friend, or you're working on yourself, and you have that moment where you're like, wow, it's so spot on, it is because of that voice engine. And so they have the ability to find the frequencies that are really best for them from that voice scan. And you're getting some of the benefit by just running the high items in progressive insights, or at least discovering which the high items are. All right. So Susie says, when does the Case Solver Club meet each month? We're working right now with the fourth Thursday of the month, the fourth Thursday of the month, but it is, of course, it's recorded, and it's at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. It's a great question. Okay, I'm helping a mom with a son with chronic stomach problems. Any advice? Sent him frequencies for the second week. So, you know, saying chronic stomach problems doesn't give us a lot to go on, Susie. So that is a great case for case solvers. Okay, so questions, you want to think, I'm not a doctor, but I am an energetic director. So what can I know about what, you can have a conversation with which I'm sure you did, which is like, when did they start? How long have they been present? When did you notice that they started? What kind of foods does the child eat? What do you have, what is breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Do a diet diary. You want to sort of eliminate the obvious. If you find out, I'll never forget that I did this case a long time ago that this woman had chronic fibromyalgia, and we couldn't figure out why she had the chronic fibromyalgia. And I did all my good naturopathic checks for her, and it was a long distance patient, so it was all over the phone at the time. We'd have the Zoom meetings and so forth. And anyway, so we did her intake and talked with her and everything. And oh my gosh, why has she been to all these doctors? Why is she having all of these issues? And she still has a fibromyalgia. You just pull your hair out. You want to know what the root cause is, how you can help them. And so she sent her diet diary and her intake form with all the detailed questions, mailed it to me so that I could see it, open it up, and the whole envelope and the whole letter, it's almost like smoke just came out of that envelope. And I realized this woman is most likely a chain smoker, some type of smoker, and that could be possibly contributing to her fibromyalgia. So you don't want to miss sort of the obvious things that might be contributing. But, that's why we also have the digestive, health assessment. Anytime somebody says chronic, you're thinking, why is it chronic? Okay, why is it so chronic? So right away, I think emotions, I think about the emotional aspect of what is that child holding within their stomach? What are they worried about, right? What's eating them literally and figuratively? Now, of course, we have a really great library, which is the digestive health assessment. And so let's just peek at that, because you could also just open up some of the libraries to get an idea of what might be causing those things. That's a great benefit of what I've done with the different assessment libraries is I've listed all the reasons that we know as a naturopathic doctor why people get those particular issues. So if you go to the general assessment, do they have an enzyme deficiency? Do they need to alkalize? Do they have dysbiosis? So dysbiosis could be a big part. I mean, goodness only knows what kids are eating these days, whether they have GMOs, whether they have what kind of chemicals they have in them, what they're allergic to. You want to think about food allergies. You want to think about leaky gut. So there's lots of different reasons that people can have stomach problems. Now, we did go a full, of course, look at everything digestive in the practitioner program. So just go to the practitioner programs at geniusbiofeedback.com and get the digestive one. You learn all about the digestive system and what causes problems with the digestive system in there as well. So we have a protease enzyme deficiency, low stomach acid, diverticulosis, intrahepatic gallstones, Helicobacter pylori, mycotoxin exposure. Again, all these things, that's what the assessment does. It's not meant to be a medical assessment, but it gives you lots and lots of hints to go on. Okay, can't wait to play with this new playlist. That's awesome. Okay, I'm working with a family. Can they send more than one voice recording through the Quanta capsule? The problem, I really don't recommend that. Now I know, we try to save, let's save some pennies. Let's just let them use one capsule for their family. I mean, if there's any way that you can give them a good deal or have them, upcharge, maybe when they go for a higher monthly, you can gift them a capsule, something like that. I don't really recommend it because it's such a headache. That all being said, yeah, they can send a voice recording, but how are you going to keep track of it? So you're going to have to, you're going to have to listen. Oh, it's a man's voice. I guess it's John from that family. Oh, that's a kid's voice. I guess it's the kid. Because there's no way within the capsule that you're going to be able to name whose voice it is. I don't know if the developer will ever change that, but so yeah, you could definitely bring, the capsule is neutral. The capsule is not like the Genius, so whatever voice comes through, then that would be the voice that you're analyzing for that particular session. So it's also going to come through in their client space with their, that first person's name and date of birth, and you're not going to be able to, I don't think, save it as a separate client. It's just going to be from that client that owns the capsule. Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit tricky. It's better in that case if they have their own capsule. We did sort of change things a little bit with the ability to name the playlist. So it is possible that you can send, mom's frequencies to the same capsule and the kids' frequencies to the same capsule. But the problem is with the voice recording, and maybe with that, then you just record, a workaround would be they just send you the voice in a different way. So they don't send you the voice to the capsule. Maybe they do a little voice recording on their own voice, recorder on their device, and then they email it to you or they text it to you. So that'd be another workaround so you could keep it all at the same capsule. And I understand sometimes that's really ideal, especially with a mom and a child. I've been waiting for this for so long. This is just great to be able to use the library items in the custom playlist. It's like a dream. Okay, yeah, I totally agree with you, Marie. I'm glad that you're happy with that. That's really nice to hear. For a long time, Ryan said, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And so he figured out, a great way to do that, which again, you got to give him kudos and appreciation for that. So once again, to create a custom playlist, let's just review that. Let's get any more of your questions. If you have other questions that you want to talk about. So once again, you just go to custom playlist. We have one that's here. This is the immune boost one. If you wanted to do another one, you could do one for whatever it is that you like to do. And it could also be a client. So if you just put their first name, it could be Sally's playlist. Don't give first and last name because other people are going to see that when you're running sessions. But a first name would be okay as long as, you're not in a really small community where it would give them away. You want to use some discretion when talking about clients, when sharing about clients. It's all supposed to be confidential. Okay, you might not be a licensed therapist, but you want to work in sort of the common law arena of working with clients. So you always want to be confidential, private. Don't discuss cases with other people by identifying the person. What we do in the medical world is we say, oh, I have a client in her mid-40s and she has these particular issues. Do you have any ideas? Do you have any thoughts? But we don't want to, want to say, hey, Mary from our Facebook group, Mary, I don't know why I didn't save it because I didn't add any items. So if you don't add any items, it doesn't save the custom playlist. Hormonal balancing. We'll add some items here. So yeah, Mary from our Facebook group, oh, she has this, this, and this, so don't identify the person. I think that's pretty obvious. Okay, so you go to hormonal balancing and then easily you could just go to hormones and you could just choose all of the hormones. Now, a lot of times we're doing things more like reproductive hormones. So you probably want estrone, estriol, follicle stimulating hormone, things like that. What else? I think this really needs a design where you have the lines. It shouldn't be this hard to figure out. Is it this one? Is it this one? Okay, if I hold the mouse down, still not quite getting it to scroll very easily. There we go. Hold and scroll at the same time. Got it. Okay, so progesterone, testosterone, maybe thyroid stimulating hormone, thyroxine, save that. And you could just do more. Then once you have it, then you can go back to, you just want to make sure that you just make sure you're saving it. I don't think that function is too great. You have to kind of keep checking, making sure that you're saving. Okay, then we go to hormonal balancing. Let's go ahead. We can open up the tray and we can clear the tray. Then we go to hormonal balancing and it's going to add all the items from the hormonal balancing. Pretty cool, right? Because it's very quick now. So when you want to create a process or you have a process and you want to translate it, now you don't have to go in every time. I have to choose this one. I have to choose this one. It's encapsulated in your custom playlist. Once you have it in the custom playlist, you can easily export it to that person's capsule. So you can just send it to their capsule. So it could go from playlist to capsule, but remember that you may want to pick up on the biofeedback aspect. right? So you maybe want to, of all the things in the playlist, maybe you want to find the ones that are best for that person. And that's when you go into progressive insights, you perform an analysis, and maybe you only send them the high items that are in there, right? Because you could select those high items and then you export it to their capsule. Okay, a client has a son with 2 grand mal seizures. Is there anything I can do with the Genius to help? Can't find a library with this topic. I think we actually do have a library on that. I'll have to check, but I actually think that we do. So the art of doing this, Deborah, is, and this is what we're teaching in the case solvers class, is you got to get a piece of paper out and you say grand mal seizures. So the first thing that we're going to do is, you're going to go and, you're not a doctor, right? But you're also a very intelligent person. And you are an energetic director, and you may be even in the health profession anyway. And so what we teach people to do, I'm just trying to get my browser up and running here, is, okay, perfect. So we go into, and then we go grand. So you don't know anything else, mal, seizure, and then you just go Mayo Clinic, because that's one of the most reliable. Okay, so a grand mal seizure. See how much time we have left here. So you guys, when you come to class, be ready to put your questions in. The person who puts their question in gets their question answered. So be ready to put your questions in about the Genius. During the week, think about what questions that you would like to have answered. So then we read it. A tonic-clonic seizure, previously known as a grand mal seizure, causes a loss of consciousness and violent muscle contractions. It's the type of seizure most people think when they think about seizures. During a seizure, there's a burst of electrical energy. Electrical energy. So maybe this relates to the nervous system. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I want to use nerve tonifying. I want to use all the brain libraries. There's something about excess here. So maybe the system is overstimulated. Maybe I want to do things that could, maybe there's some libraries about calming the person down. So I want to utilize that. During a seizure, there's a burst of electrical energy in the brain, all right, maybe the brain glymphatic system, which helps the cleansing of the brain. Seizures can be focal, meaning the burst of electrical energy happens in one area of the brain. Wow, maybe I want to use the brain anatomy so I can send these soothing, wonderful frequencies to the areas of the brain, the lobes of the brain. Or seizures can be generalized, in which they result in electrical activity in all areas of the brain. Tonic-clonic seizures may begin as focal seizures in a small area of the brain. So that I read all about that. It should say more about like different causes. Okay, a lot of times they don't know the causes, but the brain nerve cells typically communicate. Brain communication. Oh, isn't there a solfeggio for that? 639 hertz. I want to include that. Maybe you want to now create, we could do this together. We have a few minutes left. Maybe we want to do a seizure custom playlist. Okay, so injury, so causes, the brain's nerve cells typically communicate while sending electrical and chemical symptoms across the synapses that connect the cells. So we're going to use 639 hertz. Tonic-clonic seizure occurs when there's a surge of electrical activity over the surface of the brain. Maybe it's food allergy related. Maybe it's stress or trauma related. I'm going to write all of those things down. I'm going to start to include those types of libraries in the balancing that I'm doing. Many nerve cells fire at once. Okay, much faster than usual. So they're all firing at once. That means they're not in order. Order is of nature. Nature has an order. It's called the Fibonacci sequence. So I am also going to include from sacred geometry Fibonacci, or the golden ratio. So I want that energy of things being more in order. They're out of order, so they're all firing at once. Okay? So this is something that we're really teaching, like I said, in process. It's great to bring it up to in weekly training. Now it says, tonic-clonic seizures are sometimes caused by underlying health conditions. Boom. That's what you're looking for, because now you can take into account that you would like to go ahead and include these things, because if they are not needed, it doesn't matter if you use them in your balancing. So we have traumatic brain injury assessment, traumatic brain injury solutions. It says they're caused by traumatic head injuries. And a lot of people don't even know that they had a traumatic head injury at some point. They fell down, they got up, they didn't notice it, but something happened, something changed. Infections, all your infection libraries, all of your immune libraries. Injury due to a previous lack of oxygen. We have all types of injury libraries, stroke assessment, stroke solutions. So you get the idea, wow, there's so many things that you could begin to include. So if you just go back here, you could just keep, you could keep your Mayo Clinic is by far the one that is the most reliable in researching what the medical condition is. You're going to get a lot of static and external interference from other websites. But this is the one I found, because even though I'm a naturopath, I can understand from a physiological perspective what these causes are. I don't pay any attention to the pharmaceutical medications per se, although I may want to know them informationally, but I'm really looking for more that physiological reasons. It also says things like blood vessels that don't form properly, genetic syndromes. Maybe I want to use the genetics regenerator. This is so rich, just this one page to inform you as the biofeedback practitioner where to send your frequencies. So Deborah, hopefully it's getting you super excited about all the potential things that you can do. Okay, so you could do seizure play or seizure frequencies list, something like that. Now you always have something for this person when they come in, for the client when they come in. And so from the body, I'm not going to do a lot from here right now, but you can easily do from the body. I guess it's in the mind. That doesn't make sense that brain anatomy should not be in the mind, but whatever. It's sort of like a legacy thing from when the genius first started. Anyway, let's do brain anatomy. Let's do brain EEG, and let's do all the neurotransmitters. So in this case, we're going to include all of them, and we can sort it out in Progressive Insights. Then I'm going to make sure I save this so I don't lose my work. But then I'm going to go back in. So I think saving often in this case makes a lot of sense. I'm going to add some items to my playlist. What did it say? Traumatic brain injury. All right, now why is my library not available? Okay, it is available. Okay. So unfortunately I have to do a lot of scrolling here. Let's see, let's do maybe something else. We have the brain, that lymphatic one. This is really good for taking waste products out, helping to cleanse the brain. So let's include that one. And then we're going to save that one. And I'm going to add items to the playlist. And let's add the traumatic brain injury one. I just think it's going to take a while to get there. See if we had another question here. Who do I get a hold of for missing libraries? I've logged out and logged back in, but their libraries are gone. Did you restore your database, Val? Do you know how to restore your database? Write to us. It's very easy. It's the little at the top right. There's 2 semicircles, and that's how you restore your database. So if you did do that and you're still having trouble, then, get in touch with us. All right, let's go ahead. And like I said, this needs what's called an alpha scroll. Good suggestion. Send to the developer, hey, we need an alpha scroll for this. Otherwise, really long list. So we go here, traumatic brain injury. So we're going to take all the items from that, and traumatic brain injury solution. It's just hard to tell. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we can save it. And now we can go back here. We're going to clear this. So this would be for Deborah's client. Then we're going to go down here. Instantly, it's going to bring up all the frequencies that we need to help that particular, the sun. And then we're going to go here. Now it gives us all of that. And now we can find out of these, which ones are the really high items. We could send it to him in the capsule, or we could send all the frequencies if we wanted to. It's just really a personal choice. So here we find all the high items. It also might give us some ideas about the case. What's really interesting here is that CBD came up, and that is literally that when we were first sort of knowing about CBD. Now people talk about CBD for everything, but it was literally seizures. So high doses of CBD have very much been associated with the mitigation of seizures. It was one of the first things that it was utilized for. All right, so what we talked about today, we talked all about an immune system process. and we shared the information of this immune system process. This is something you can get from geniusbiofeedback.com by going to the Learn menu and downloading the process there. We also have a video all about custom playlists there. So go ahead and get your immune boosting frequencies on. This is also going to be available immediately for replay on my YouTube channel. So find Ariel Policano on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, notifications, all that good stuff. Like I said, we have a lot of great things happening from now until Black Friday. We're going to have some programs, some things for you. We're going to have great things coming up for the month of November. Can't wait to update you. So make sure you receive our newsletter. If you don't think you receive it, send me a message, Ariel@geniusbiofeedback.com. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.